Hey y'all, happy Monday, happy marvelous Monday, happy magnificent Monday, happy money making motivational Monday. Y'all use one of those M's. Marvelous, magnificent, money making, motivating. Is it a marvelous Monday for you? I hope so. Is it a motivational Monday? I hope so. Are you making something, making big plans, making moves, making money move? I hope so. Are things magnificent right now for you? I hope so. That's a lot of M's. That's a lot of M's for Monday. Marvelous, magnificent, motivating, magical Monday. But anywho, what are you guys doing? Are you off work? Are you headed to work? Whatever you're doing, I hope it's been a good day for you. And I hope it continues to be a good day. I hope you have a great rest of your Monday and a great rest of your week. And I hope that you are looking at the legs move. Watch the legs move. And hopefully on this Monday, my legs will motivate you to get up and move, move, move. Okay? Move for 30 minutes at least. I'll say 30 minutes at least if you're used to moving and you do a lot of moving. But if you're not used to moving and this is going to be something new, give us 15 minutes minimum, okay? 15 minutes minimum to start out. All right? And then we can work it up. Work your way up to 30. Make sure you want to do a minimum of 30. Once you make your way up, work your way up and make your way up to 30. And then we want to go 45 minutes to an hour. All right? If you can, if your fitness level allows. But guess what? If you can't right now, that's okay. We can always what? Work our way up, make our way up. Work our way up, make our way up. And before, professional and personalized disclaimer, before you attempt or try anything that I do or say on this channel here at Lions Pride, Let's Walk and Talk, always contact your healthcare provider, your primary healthcare provider, okay? Your general doctor that you go to see once every year, twice a year. Look, once a year, twice a year, every 4 months, which would be what, about 3 times a year, right? Contact him or her, right? Do y'all hear that sound? That's the highway, okay? Contact them. If it's not your doctor, maybe it's your nurse practitioner, maybe it's his physician's assistant, okay? Your specialty doctors, all right? We have specialty doctors, heart, lung, all right? All types of specialty doctors. Contact them. Your physical therapist, your occupational therapist, in case you've had any injuries in the past, contact them. Make sure that you guys are on the same page because it's a collaborative effort. It's a team effort. I always say, and I'll continue to say, those practitioners lock arm in arm and they form a circle around you. They are the atom and you are the nucleus. And so be open, let them know what you're doing, let them know what you want to do. And I don't know one healthcare provider that won't encourage you to move. The only stipulation may be your fitness level at the time, all right? So if you haven't been doing this, if you were in the military 10 years ago, guess what? And you haven't been working out every day, running every day like you did in the military, you don't want to just take off and go running like that, all right? Even athletes train regularly. Even athletes train regularly. They may not train as much prior to an event as they do throughout the rest of the year, but I promise you, they're training regularly, all right? So as common lay people, don't just jump up and think you're gonna do 3 miles in a day. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. But see what you can do. Let your doctor know what's been feeling comfortable for you. Because it's okay to try some things before, some low-level, low-key things before you go to your doctor. Let them know how you feel. And as whether you go to your doctor or not, whenever you feel any pain, discomfort, or something's just not right, you want to slow down and, or more importantly, stop. Listen to your body. You want to work your body, but make sure you don't hurt your body. Okay? So, figure out what's feeling good for you. Go to your doctor, to your regular checkup. Let him know, all right, that maybe you have some cholesterol numbers that you're trying to get down naturally, blood pressure, glucose. Maybe you're trying to do that naturally first. Whatever you guys come up with, whatever the plan is, his or she is going to want you to exercise. I promise you, right? Unless for some reason you have some type of issue that wouldn't be good for you to exercise right now. But let me tell you, most practitioners want you to exercise, want you to move, even if you're just moving in place, right? Even if you're sitting, okay? If you can only stand for so long, move a little bit, okay? Move those joints, all right? The more you move, the more synovial fluid your body creates around your joints, and hopefully the easier it will become for you to move. If you have joint issues, arthritis, or any other type of issues with your joints, muscles, and things like that, that is the reason you want to talk with your primary healthcare provider, so that he can say, let's start here. He will formulate a plan for you. And if he doesn't do it, a lot of times they will send you to someone who's more trained to do so. All right? And you let them know what works for you. When they come up with the plan, when you guys create your plan, they're going to give you some modifications. They're going to give you some alternatives to things to do in case what the original plan calls for needs to be modified, okay? They're going to do that. Hey, Betty. Hey, Retirement Days. Welcome to the live. How are you doing on this marvelous Monday? I call it marvelous, magnificent, money Monday or money-making Monday. How are you doing? I hope you're off of work. Hope your week has started well at work. I hope everybody's week has started off great. It's Monday, y'all. It's Monday, and I know some people, they say, oh, it's Monday. But look, let me tell you, love Monday just like you love Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Okay? Love each and every day the same, because God has allowed it for you. Okay? You're done? Okay. You're done for work for today? Done for work. You're done for work. I am done from work today. That's good. That's good. I know you're glad to be done. I know you're glad to be done. That's why I say, I know a lot of times we fuss because it's Monday. A lot of times, depending on your work, where you work, you got stuff left over from Friday. And if you work at a place that's 24/7, you may have things that are left over from Friday and the weekend. And guess what? When you come in, everybody expects you to get on top of it. Everybody expects you to catch things up. And so sometimes that can be like annoying. It can be a headache. It can be a nuisance. And so I understand why some people say, oh, it's Monday. But look, that's just as it relates to work, right? That's just as it relates to work. Monday is a beautiful day just like all other days. It's a beautiful day just like all other days. All of the other days is beautiful, 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 beautiful. So I got off work a little while ago. Went in, got it done. Exercised before work. Went in, exercised, showered, went to work, and now we're here. Yes, right. Oh, Betty. Oh, my goodness. Right. Now you can do the housework. Absolutely. 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 Thank each and every one of you guys that I see up there. Where the little man is. What is that? It's like an avatar. Thank you, thank you, thank you for stopping by this chat for a few seconds, a few minutes, or forever, however long that you're here. Thank you. I appreciate you. Okay? It's all support. It's all support. I appreciate if you give me a thumbs up, but if you don't, I don't fuss about that. I don't care about that, really. There are so many other ways to help us, right? If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Once you subscribe, support further by ringing my doorbell. I call it my doorbell, but it's that YouTube notification bell. Select all, so you'll be notified every time I go live or upload a video or short. Okay? Comment if you would like. If you don't want to comment during the live, leave a comment after the live. At whatever part you got here, whatever we were talking about when you came in, leave a comment about it. Leave a suggestion. Leave us your opinion. Whatever it is that you want to do, we would appreciate it. And the reason I always say I don't fuss about likes is because, of course, likes help you. You know, YouTube looks at it all. But the likes are just one aspect. There are a plethora of things you can do to support. For whatever reason, somebody may just not want to hit the like button. So they might not even like they might not even like it because they don't like it, okay? But I still appreciate that. The fact that you stopped by for a few seconds just to listen, to see if you want to engage, to see if you like it. Or even if it was just an accidental scroll, right? You got to be appreciative for what you get. You got to be appreciative for what you get. Even if it was an accidental scroll and you hung out for 5-10 seconds, I appreciate you. So I want you guys to tell me some things that you do to motivate yourselves. What do you do to motivate yourself? When you're down and out, or when you're just kind of blah? You don't necessarily have to be down and out, but you may just be kind of uggish. What do you do to motivate yourself? What do you do to lift your mood, to lift your spirits? What do you do to put yourself in a better place, mental and physical? So if you don't want to say so during the live, because I see a few people in here, just leave a comment after the live or come back to the next live and let us know. Because we don't really have plans over here. We just communicate with each other. We talk with each other. Hopefully encourage, motivate, and uplift each other. Those are the goals, all right? Those are the goals. Now, sometimes you get a little bit off track, but when you get off track, get back on track, okay? Get back on track, and you get back on track by getting rid of the distractions, getting rid of the things that aren't conducive to your growth, whether the things be things, people, or discussions or topics or whatever it is. All right, sometimes people come through and they disagree, and instead of just moving along, they want to hang out and be a problem, an issue. Don't do people that way. If you disagree, guess what? There are so many channels on YouTube that you might agree with. Don't be an issue for someone you disagree with. Go somewhere and communicate with those that you agree with, or communicate with like-minded people. But the thing about it is, you don't always have to lead. Just be willing and able to have a conversation without getting your feathers ruffled, right? Because you're not always going to agree with people. Do you always agree with your spouse? Do you always agree with your kids? Do you always agree with your parents? Do you always agree with your siblings? Do you always agree with coworkers? With classmates? See, you're not going to always agree. But the difference is when it comes to like people in your presence and people on the apps, people feel more inclined to argue when they don't agree. People feel more inclined to argue when they don't agree. That's the difference when it comes to disagreeing with people in your presence as opposed to disagreeing with people on an app. People on the app always want to argue. They want an argument. Some of them are looking for an argument. Some of them lost the argument with their spouse this morning. You know, they feel like they were defeated. Some of them lost the argument with the coworker. Some of them lost an argument with the supervisor. Some of them lost an argument with the classmate. Some of them lost an argument with their sibling, with their friend, with the enemy, with the frenemy in their presence. So they come to social media looking to wreak havoc and cause all kinds of arguments. And the funny thing about it is, some people come to social media wanting to be accepted in all their ways, but they can't accept the next person in their ways. So my message to you, this could be a message Monday. My message to you on this motivational, magical, magnificent, marvelous, money-making Monday is to don't let people change you. And honestly, at this point in your life, if you're an adult, most people can't change you, but they can kind of make you feel defeated, because you are who you are. You will be who you will be, unless you want to change, or unless something naturally causes you to change, or unless someone you love says something to you, or something happens between the 2, 3, 4 of you that causes you to change, causes you to have a desire to change within. So don't let people you don't know, people you really don't want to know, cause you to feel defeated or make you change. All right? Be you. Be you. Because many people will have opinions of you, but who cares? You can have an opinion of them. You can have an opinion of them, right? The same way they have an opinion of you. Have an opinion of them. It's so funny on social media, so many people, they want to just change other adult people that they haven't grown up with, they haven't worked with, they don't know. That's one of the biggest downsides to social media. I always say to my chat, I always say to whoever is in here, social media wasn't created for any one particular person to rule or control another. Even though you find that happening a lot, that's not what it was created for. It wasn't created for negativity, but as I like to say, anytime you're dealing with mass groups of people, a great number of people, people will people. People be peopling. So that's just how it is. That's just how it is. So just make sure that you get up. When you grab your phone, when you grab your tablet, when you grab your laptop, that you seek and search for things that are productive for you mentally and that work for you. Go into areas that work for you. Go into areas that you like. Go into areas that you enjoy. And sometimes it's not necessarily that you'll enjoy everything that's going on, but maybe you just enjoy certain people. So learn to enjoy the people you enjoy and to ignore the people you don't. I say it all the time. All the time. There are people in our lives, we get mad at them 1 minute, and for a whole month, we don't say a word to them. For a whole 6 months, for a whole year, you don't say a word to them. Even if they're right there in your house. So it's so strange to me that people cannot get along on social media, and all they want to do is talk about each other. All they want to do is talk about each other. If you can be in the house with your spouse, you can be in the house with a parent, with a sibling, with a child, with a dear friend you may be helping out, or they may be helping you out and you live with them. You guys get angry with each other and you don't speak. What the hell? You're gonna not speak to them, but then you got people on social media who you don't know, and you just act like you just got to say something to them. And a lot of times people call it like childish, or they call it like high school. It's not really childish or high school. It's honestly just stupid. It's honestly just stupid. I don't even like to say that a lot. I say it from time to time, that some of the things that people do and some of the ways that people act can be, hey, Shawanda, welcome to the chat. How you doing? Happy Monday, Shawanda. I appreciate you for coming in. Some of the things that people do on social media, a lot of times we'll say it's childish, or like we'll say it's high school, middle school, elementary, but a lot of times it's not that, y'all. I'm not going to even insult the school kids like that. I'm not going to insult the kids like that. Sometimes some of the things that people do on social media is just stupid. Like, you can't control another grown person. And the main grown people that try to do that are the ones that get an attitude for the least little thing. They get an attitude for the least little thing. So whenever you decide to pick up your phone, whenever you decide to pick up your tablet, look, don't let these other grown people control you. Okay? You control you. You control you. So happy Monday, Shawanda. Shawanda, when is your birthday? Your birthday is December. Is your birthday coming up? I know you told us that your birthday was coming up soon. It's a lot of people with October birthdays. Well, look, it's a lot of people with every month's birthday, right? But as far as my chat, quite a few people were saying that their birthdays are coming up. Some of them have come and gone, and some of them haven't come yet. So if I'm remembering right, I think you said December. So just move. Look at the legs move. Be encouraged to move. And you don't just have to walk. Like, walking is a great thing. Walking just motivates you to do it more. The more you walk, the more you'll want to walk. But that's with all cardiovascular activity. You know, everybody is just clung to walking, but you can skip, you can run, you can jog, you can walk, you can skate, you can dance, you can ride your bike, you can get on your elliptical, you can get on your treadmill, you can get on your walking pad, you can get on your mini stepper. Okay? You can go swimming, you can go hiking. All right? You can walk around the perimeter of your home if you don't want to leave home. If it's too hot, stay inside your home. Walk around the biggest room of your home. Walk laps. Walk around every room of your home if that makes you feel better. Okay? And like one of my mods said, Rock Just Living, walk in place. Walk in place. I often walk in place when I get to a stoplight or a stop sign. You just want to keep moving. Keep moving. Keep moving. Keep those legs moving. When you're sitting down, make sure that you get up enough times during the day. Because when you sit down, what do? You bend at the hips and you bend at the knees. Okay? So that blood has to circulate around those hips, around those knees. Get up from time to time so that it doesn't have to do that. That's a little bit, you don't want to stand up all the time, of course, because of the gravitational pull. People start to say they have leg problems, back problems. So you want a good mix of sitting and standing. You want a good mix of sitting and standing. For those teachers, nurses, doctors, sit when you can. Take every opportunity to sit when you can. Okay? Because for the most part, you guys are constantly moving and you're up though. Yes, so to keep moving is a great thing. You get your steps in, you get your cardio in, but when you work in those fields, you're up a whole lot. So you want to find time to, sit down when you can. You get a patient, sit down and talk to them if you can. You're a teacher, get a stool and teach when you can. Sit on the stool. Okay? And for you're a plant worker, some people work in plants and warehouses. Take your breaks, okay? Don't let anybody take away your break. Take your breaks. Because most of the times, if you're in one of those facilities, you're standing a lot. And your body mechanics, oh my gosh, they're all over the place. You're probably lifting, pulling, or pushing, unless you're in the office. So take every opportunity to sit when you're in one of those places like that. So just make sure that you know, take breaks when you need to take breaks. Get off your feet. When you're on your feet and you're at work, move, 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 move. Move as much as you can. Okay, don't stay stationary. Move, move. If you sit a lot, and that's what your job entails, get up and move around, stretch, and walk. Move around, stretch, and walk. Okay, a lot of times we work in these places that don't have windows, or at least they don't have windows where you're working. On your break, go look outside. Okay, go look outside. Go look outside and see what's going on outside. Just looking outside the window. If you can't go outside, just looking outside will help you. Just looking outside helps. Just looking outside helps. So remember, move, 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 move. And get your checkups. You know, get your checkups. Remember to go get your checkups, whether it's once a year, twice a year, or 3 times a year. Make sure that you remember to get your checkups. Of course, nobody likes to go. Well, I'll say most people, many people, a lot of people complain about going to the doctor. They don't like to go to the doctor for a variety of reasons. Some people just don't like to go. They just don't like the environment. They don't like the atmosphere. Some people don't trust the medical profession, or they don't trust doctors or certain doctors. You know, there are a lot of other reasons. Some people don't like the idea that if they go, they may prescribe some medication. If it's not something like an antibiotic to treat a minor infection, or like a sinus infection or UTI, or, you know, something to take in case you get a bad cold or the case of a flu, sometimes they will order you antibiotics. The antibiotics won't do anything for the virus, but it can sometimes help you from getting maybe a secondary bacterial infection. So a lot of people don't like the idea of having to take, they'll take those, but they don't like the idea of having to take a blood pressure medicine, or a medicine for diabetes, or a medicine for the cholesterol, or whatever other thing, you know, God forbid. They don't like the idea of that. So a lot of times people won't go to the doctor. Go to the doctor, okay? Go to the doctor. Get your checkups. Get your preventative treatments. Or I'll say preventative care. Because preventative care, you're just going to get a checkup. You're going to go, you know, you're going to make sure that everything's okay. All right? And don't make excuses. When you go and the doctor says, well, I need to do this or whatever. If you feel like you need a second opinion, definitely do that. But if it's something kind of run-of-the-mill, like your blood pressure, your cholesterol, treating your diabetes, listen and do what they say. And of course, you don't want to take the medicine, but give it a try. A lot of times it'll make you feel better. And if it doesn't, if it makes you feel worse, let them know. It may just be that you need a change of medication. So I say that because it is so amazing to me that I see people on here who don't like going to the doctor and say they haven't been to the doctor, but they're giving advice to other people to check with their doctors, to go to their doctors. It doesn't matter that they aren't your doctor and what they're doing is for them. You have no credibility. It's kind of like you're telling people what you did and why you did it, but you don't go to get a checkup at least. I'm not going to tell anybody to do anything that I wouldn't do. If I wouldn't do it, I wouldn't say it. I would just get on here and do whatever I'm doing. All right. So you have to be careful and leery of who you listen to. Be careful who you listen to. Pay close attention to who you listen to. Pay close attention to who you listen to. Because I'm not going to listen to somebody who's telling me to do something that they won't do or that they aren't doing. So, again, YT doesn't give us formal education. It doesn't give us licenses, certifications. We don't pass any type of boards, YT board exams. So we have to give these professional and personalized disclaimers for those of us who are professionally trained, licensed, or have some type of credential to do some of the things that we do on here. Because a lot of people don't have credentials, and again, YT doesn't give them. So just be careful about what you tell people, because when you give out these messages, the messages are going to millions of people, potentially. Maybe not, maybe no, but it's a great chance that even if 2 people hear it, and they hear you, and you say something that's not credible, then you put that message out to people. That's why I don't put out a lot of detailed stuff, just some basics. Some basics. A lot of the basics are just normal everyday things that people have just learned or acquired themselves. But when you start to advise people to do this and do that, even if you're telling them to check with the doctor, how dare you when you don't go? That's crazy. How dare you when you don't go? That's just like telling someone to drink plenty of water and you don't drink half the water that's needed. How do you feel saying that? Like, some people have no qualms about it. Some people do whatever. They just want to hear themselves talk, or they just want to seem like they're doing the right thing. But if you don't drink enough water, how can you feel comfortable encouraging other people to drink enough water? I mean, it's a good thing to do, but education should start at home, right? You know that you should. So how about just encourage people to go on the journey with you to drink enough water? That's better. If you know that you don't eat properly, invite them on the journey with you to start to eat properly. Don't tell them you better eat right, or you better stop eating all that junk, or you better stop eating those sweets. That would be true that they need to, but you do too. So as a content creator, invite them on the journey to stop. And you guys can do it together. So a lot of times I see people just saying, oh, do this, do that, do this, do that, and they don't do it themselves. So instead of doing that, invite people on the journey to do it. Invite people on the journey to do it. Because for one, it's very hypocritical. And again, it's kind of like a how dare you. That music was loud, y'all. That music was real loud. When I know that you guys are able to hear the actual words, if I can tell that you're able to understand the actual words, I'll go ahead and mute. But a lot of times I don't mute because I'm outside. I'm outside, right? And when you're outside, it just comes with it. The noise is a part of the territory. What I really don't like though is when that wind starts to blow. Oh my gosh. And it just hits the microphone. Just knocks against the microphone. That's so annoying. That is so annoying. It has been 38 minutes. I'm trying to keep my walk and talks to from 30 minutes to maybe an hour. 30 minutes to maybe an hour. Because I exercise before, whether it be in the morning or right before I come on. So I've done the work. But we're on here, we're walking and talking. We're walking and talking. Okay? And a lot of people do that. But a lot of people get perturbed because I get perturbed when people who I've encountered on a regular basis all of a sudden start to say the exact same thing and they don't get it. But then I hear them go on a channel and say, oh, don't tell people what you're going to do because people will do it. And I'm like, kind of like when you start saying what other people say verbatim. Again, people be peopling. And this isn't just people who don't really have a lot of contact with you until they're looking for something. There's people that you've had contact with for years and people who don't really have contact with you until they're looking for maybe subscribers or something like that. They're trying to get back something that they lost, like some subs or some monetization. Like, I'm telling y'all, these apps are something else. And it's not the apps. People be peopling. People be peopling. And that's why I say, be yourself. Don't let anybody else's thoughts, opinions, or comments change who you are or change what you be or what you want to do. But just make sure that you're being you. Being you. Authentically, originally you. Be you. You can't be someone else. And most will say they don't want to be someone else. That's fine. But I don't want to imitate anyone else. I don't want to duplicate anyone else. I just want to be me. Me. I don't want to do, I get so tired of seeing so many people, like grown people, like 40s and up. It's the 40 up group. What's going on, Big Kane? Hey, Big Kane. Happy Monday to you. Big Kane, I think you had left. You had left the other day when I was asking you if you and your family and your property and everything were, if they were okay, if you were all good. I feel like you are, because I know you probably would have said it if you weren't. So I'm hoping that everything is good with you. You, your family, and your family and friends and anybody else that you may know, like your co-workers and everybody like that. I know that people are still having, a rough time due to the two hurricanes. I was about to say the two tornadoes, but the two hurricanes. And I think the Milton wasn't as bad as they thought he would be. Thank goodness. But I think they said a lot of tornadoes spun off of Milton. So, that's a common occurrence. When you have a hurricane, it's a good chance that some tornadoes will kind of like spin off from that. We good, thanks for asking. Okay, I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that. Because I asked the other day, but I think you were gone already. So I'm glad to hear that. It was kind of funny to me that a lot of people don't know or didn't know that if a hurricane hits, a lot of times you can get tornadoes from that. Because once it makes landfall, of course it's supposed to weaken. But for what I'm told and what I saw on the news, Hurricane Helene didn't weaken. When she made landfall, she didn't weaken. So, that might have some stuff to do with the climate changing, all this kind of stuff, the different temperature changes that happen with global warming and climate change and all that stuff. So I heard that she didn't weaken. And with Milton, I don't think he was as bad as they thought it would be, but there were quite a few tornadoes. So I'm hoping that everybody, can get what they need. And I hope the people who are lying, government, yeah, yep. And whichever side is lying about what's going on with the assistance, I hope they just stop lying. Because as we know, anytime you have like a natural disaster, or I'll say a natural event, because at the end of the day, it's God's word. So I'll say when you have a natural event to happen, nobody needs to hear about lies. People want to know where are they going to eat, they want to know how they're going to be taken care of, right? Where are they going to sleep? What are they going to eat? What's going to happen? How are you going to help them? That's what they want to know. They don't have time to listen to people bicker, and then assistance is always slow. Seems like assistance is always really slow anyway, which is kind of understandable when it affects thousands and thousands of people. But a lot of times it's not understandable, because a lot of times I'm thinking like, okay, when people need assistance across borders overseas, you guys are like Johnny on the spot. Johnny on the spot. It's like they get it. And it doesn't take long, because if it took long, they'd be complaining. But then you have people right here waiting. And it happens with all presidents. It happens with all governments. It doesn't matter who's in charge at the time. It happens. And if y'all don't believe me, I know y'all remember with the Katrina thing, the response that Bush was criticized for his response. I forgot what event happened. Clinton was criticized for his response. So it's bad enough that the response time is slower than what people would like. Then you got people lying, and then sometimes there might be some truth in the lies. But guess what? The people who are affected, they're not into that. They just need the help. They want to be helped. Kane says exactly how you broke when you print it. Come on, Kane. Look. And now it's so fast that they ain't even printing it, right? So how you just make moves. You making moves. It's like they trying to get away from even doing that. But you're exactly right. How you broke when it's being printed all the time. And it's getting to the point now where they're making it so fast that they aren't waiting for print. It's just a matter of the touch of a button. It's just the touch of a button. So why is the response time always so slow when there's a massive weather event? Why is the response time always so slow? Like Kane said, you print money, and even though a lot of things are digital now, we've pretty much always printed money. And it's always circulated. Always circulated. So why is it so slow? Why is it so slow? Especially, 2024? Things have been digital for how long? A lot of times it's just it's the touch of a button, and sometimes it's not even the touch of a button. It's just a yes or no. It's just a yes or no. Or just simply send. It could just simply be the word send, or tapping on the word send, saying the word send, or tapping on the word send. Plus, they burn money every year. Why not use it? Right. Exactly. And then they burn money for some of the craziest reasons. They burn money every year for crazy reasons. So you know, you can't help but people are going to be mad. When the response time is slow, people will be mad. But I just hate it when people add extra stuff. You know, adding the extra stuff, adding the lies, that's just adding more stress, more pressure to kids, to people, even down to the kids. Because kids know when their parents are stressed, right? And think about the elderly people. The stress it puts on them, and then the stress it puts on their adult children, and that stress trickles down to their kids. You know, so the stress is going to trickle down, or the stress is going to trickle up. Stress will trickle down as well as up. Okay, so you got maybe elderly people in their 70s, 80s. Their 60, 50-year-old kids are worried about them. And then those people's 20, 30-year-old kids are worried about their stress. Okay, because you're in that little, they're in that little sandwich group because they're worried about their parents, and then they're worried about their kids, and their kids in their 20s and 30s are worried about them, and then they're worried about their children. So it's like four generations of stress from an event. So yes, people want the government to move, and they want the government to move fast. You know, now as far as like the hands-on stuff, okay, I understand that takes time because it takes, you know, people are resources. People themselves are resources. So a lot of times when an area gets hit like that, you have the first responders. They've been affected as well. So even though they've been affected, guess what? They got to get out there and they got to be hands on deck. And at the same time, where they're trying to help people, they're worrying about what's going on at their home, what's going on with their parents, their children, their family and friends. And they got to be hands on deck. Then I can see that being a little bit slow because at that point you gotta engage with your neighboring states. You know, you gotta engage with your neighboring states so that they can send some people. So when people go through these weather events like that, yes, the money should be instant. And if the money is going where it should go, you shouldn't have people lying about it. I saw something on the news earlier today where a certain militia was doing something, and the people who were supposed to be going to help, they backed out. They were like, oh, no. They got the militia up there. Nah. Oh my gosh. Let me screenshot that. They in here tripping, y'all. The Odin disciple. Guess what just happened? YouTube just hit your comment. And when I looked at it, I'm going to let y'all know what the Odin disciple said. He says, you have some very beautiful and sexy legs. Are you single or horny by chance? He's 47 years old, biracial, from New York State. No SIs, no kids, never married. He says, I'm not making fun of you. He wants to do nasty things, y'all. That was so funny. Well, the Odin disciple, YouTube heard your message, but you haven't been blocked yet. But no, we don't accept solicitors on this channel, okay? You're in New York State. I'm sure you can find someone who can help you with those needs. Look at Rock. Rock says trolls get on my nerves. Rock, it was like, I'm like, what the hell? This troll just wrote a whole paragraph. So I was like, when I saw that they held it, I'm like, okay, let me see what this is. And so when I clicked on it, I'm like, he just wrote a whole paragraph. Hey, Rock, welcome to the chat, Rock. Welcome to the live, Rock. And then his name is The older disciple. The older disciple, I didn't block you. Because, I tell people all the time, I let the trolls make it. Until you get real dirty and nasty, you got a little bit out of hand, but if you're still in here, keep watching. Hey, Rock, how you doing, Rock? Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Are you just getting off work? I see you dropped a couple of videos yesterday. I was at work, so I didn't get a chance to look at them, but I will definitely go over there and check them out because I know it's a great vlog as usual. I did catch a couple of shorts. And sometimes the shorts aren't even new. I still don't understand that, y'all. And I guess I just chop it up to the fact that when you're subscribed to a lot of people, your news feed or your feed can only hold so much. And I guess that's why sometimes you look at a short. Rock, sometimes I'm looking at a short. I think I told y'all this before. And I watch it and then I go to comment and the short is like 4 or 5 days old, even 3 weeks old. Okay, I was off today. Hey, I know you are busy, no worries. Yeah, but I always try to go over there and say something because I like this, it be, Rock, and it's that time of the year too. It's like you be trying to, I find myself sometimes in like if I don't have time to go, there are certain people I want to make time to go and check out and go at least leave a comment or something and watch a video or let it play. Even if I just start watching it and if it's like I get busy and if I can't finish it, I still let it play out. And so I'll comment on something that I saw. But then there's some people I don't even go to because some people will not come, they will not support you. And they got every excuse in the book for why they won't support you. And you're like, okay, you're busy. I get it. I know. Like, I don't like for people to explain to me why they don't come. But just because I don't like for them to explain, I do take mental note when I see you in other chats. Because you go where you want to go. But the reason I say what I'm saying is because those are the main people who say you never come to see them, or you never come and support them, or you never do whatever. And I'm like, okay, I give you the same energy you give me. I haven't seen you in 2 or 3 lives. Why would I come to more than 1 or 2 of yours? If because there's always the replay. And then I don't even like that a lot of times. When people say replay, I be like, okay, all right, thank you. I appreciate it, and I really do. But sometimes it be like, if you go into the shenanigans and the mess, they all up and through them lives. They all up and through. Thank you, Rock. I appreciate you. I love how you walk every day. I need your motivation. Oh, Rock, you got it. Let me tell you, Rock, you be doing good. You be doing good. But I get what you're saying. Sometimes it's like, you feel like you want to do a little bit more. You want to do a little bit more. But the thing about it is, you do good. Because some people don't at all. It's like they say they will, they say they want to. And that's when I say, like, I understand, like, I say walk at work. And I understand sometimes people may say, well, I sweat. I don't want to be walking at work. I get that. I understand that. So time you get off. If you get off at 5 o'clock, and it's going to start getting dark earlier now. Probably, it's already kind of changing on its own. So it'll start getting dark like 5:30. So if you get off at 5 and you don't get out to your car until 5:15, make a couple of quick laps around the parking lot where it's still safe, hopefully well lit. And then like you say, like I tell them, thank you, Rock, I appreciate that super sticker. I appreciate you. And like you told us that day when you came over here about the walking in place. It's like when I'm walking outside and I gotta wait for cars, you gotta just keep moving. You gotta keep moving. So if you're at home, walk in place. Walk in place. I walk on my break at work sometimes. Yeah, right, because a lot of times it's like, I get it when people say they don't want to walk on their breaks. But I used to do it, but until I got in the habit of being able to do it, to exercise and work out before work, or then I would kind of rotate it around, depending on my work schedule. I do afternoons, and then the way it fell a couple of years ago, it was like it was hot, so I had to stop. So I basically been doing that evenings for over a year now. But I did like to like go mornings, afternoons, and nights. Yeah, morning, afternoon, nights. And now it's just kind of like mornings, nights, morning, nights. Okay, y'all, that music was so loud you could hear every word. So now it's like mornings and nights. So I would do my breaks as well. But in the summertime, I just do like right after work. As long as I was in a shaded area. Or I'd come home and get on my elliptical. Rock, yes, they love the mess. They love the mess. And I'm like, okay, I don't ask anybody to tell. Like when people say replay, I appreciate that because it lets me know that somebody stopped by after the fact. But it's like people will strike up lives or do videos and they complain about, oh, they do this because you do this. Well, guess what? That person is doing that because you did that. I'm like, and if I come into somebody's live and if I'm watching it, like a lot of people don't like to drop down. But what I have learned to start doing, Rock, is just saying hello. Because there's nothing wrong, like my granddaddy always say, there's nothing wrong with a speaking. You know, you may not want to be in that particular live, but just to let that person know that, hey, I stopped by, all you gotta do is say hello and stay out of the chat. It's like, I said, I'll never be a hypocrite. I like a little mess sometimes. You know, I like to watch a little mess. But after a while, it gets, like we grown, it gets to be too much. So when it starts being too much, I just stay away from it. So if it's like a content creator that I like, because see, everybody that you like, they're not going to always do what you like. So sometimes people are doing things that you don't like, but there's something about the content creator that you like. So you go in and you say hello, and you know, you move accordingly. And that's just kind of how I do. Because there are certain people, I just like something about them. At some point, I've liked something about them. So I go in and I say hello. So, but the chats are full. And usually they full of the people that's telling you that they couldn't catch your video or they couldn't catch your live because of this, that, and the third and the other. I'm like, don't explain that to me because I'm just going to not catch your lives because of this, that, the third, and the other. Because we're not going to catch all of them anyway. We're not going to catch all of them anyway. So the only thing I get a little perturbed by is when people strike up a live or do a video or a short talking about support or someone not watching them, or if you don't watch me, I'm not going to watch you. And they're the main ones that don't watch you. They're the main ones that don't watch you. It's like, what? Ross says, right. Yes, I used to love to walk, like especially when it's kind of cool outside, like the way it's becoming now that we're kind of getting really into fall. You have those kind of windy days where, so if you go outside and walk, you know it's the great time to do it because it's windy and you don't sweat as much and you feel okay going back inside and finishing up your day at work. So this time of year, it's even better than spring. When it comes to like exercising and stuff like it, when you're at work and doing it on your lunch break, for me, the best time is like fall. Because if you don't want to wait until after work because it's dark early, just go on your lunch break. And what I do is eat on my 15-minute break. I'll eat on like my first 15-minute break and then go walking after I eat anyway. So that kind of works out anyway. And if I can't do it then, on my second 15-minute break, I go out and do like 2 or 3 laps. Especially in the fall, you don't get so hot. You know, you're gonna warm up, you're gonna get warm, but you just don't get so hot and sweaty. So I understand when people say they don't like to do it on their lunch break when it's like, you know, summertime or, you know, spring, because spring can get hot. But if you just kind of almost have to find a way to do it. Like I always tell people, if you want to work out, just do leg day. You can do leg day by doing squats. Every time you go to the restroom, do a set of squats. That may sound a little like, but you go to the restroom, you know, you can find the time to stretch. Just get up from your desk and stretch your legs a little bit. When you go to the restroom, do 12 squats while you're in there. The second time you go, do another 12. That's 2 sets right there. Some people only want to do 2 sets a day. But for those who do 3 sets, when you get home, you go to the restroom, do your 3rd set. So you've done basically the recommended amount of sets for your legs. Okay? So you want to work the back of your legs, your hamstrings. If you stand up and wash dishes at home, stretch those calves, push from that sink, do some leg lifts, do some back leg lifts, leg curls, do some back leg curls, 2 to 3 sets of 12 or 10 to 12. You've done your exercises for your legs for that day. So a lot of times we just have to, I guess, kind of incorporate the exercise into our daily routine. Just incorporate the exercise into your daily routine. But I get it, because I ain't gonna lie to you. Sometimes when your schedule gets really, really busy, it's not even that you don't even think to make time, you just don't even think about it. Like, you just don't even think about it. So I get it when people say that sometimes they just don't even think about it. Next thing they know, they get up, go to work, get home, eat. Next thing they know, it's time to go to bed so you can get up and do it again. So I get it. I just try my best to, if I miss a day, I try to go a little bit longer the next day or the day before. And if I miss 2 days, I try to make sure I definitely get 5 in. Like, I strive for 5. Ross says bed by 8. I know that's right, Ross. You be trying to look. My thing is, Ross, I'm a night owl. It's like I get in bed. I've always been a night owl. I remember my mom saying, "Y'all better go to bed." Me and my sisters and brothers, we be up. And most people had that time where they had to be in bed. And she would, my parents would be like, especially my mom, she'd be like, "Okay, y'all know y'all got to go to school in the morning, right?" So once we became teenagers, they kind of started letting you make your own decisions. And you stay your butt up all night, guess what? Your butt getting right on up to go to school. No, you ain't sleeping in. You ain't getting checked in. You getting up and you going to school. But see, when you're young, you're a teenager, you can do that. Just like in your early 20s, you can go out and party all night. You can go out and party till 3 and be at work at 6:45. You can get up and party from about 11 o'clock that night to about 3:30 even. And by the time you get in bed, it's maybe 4 o'clock. And you got to get up at 6. See, you can do that when you're a teenager, when you're in your 20s, maybe even in your early 30s, you can do that stuff. About 34, 35, you be like, You be like, I gotta go to sleep. And even if I don't, like I said, I'm still a night owl, even though I don't do all that, I'm a night owl. So it's like, when it's time to go to sleep, it's like your other personality comes and says, we got a party. Like, your other personality wants to have a party in the bedroom. You're trying to sleep, and your other personality is trying to have a party in the bedroom. So that's something else. Yep, I'm still a night owl. I like to go to work during the day and come on home, but I still stay up too late. I hear a lot of people say they have to get 8 hours. They have to get 8 or 9 hours. And guess what? I do too. When I'm off, I won't get up to about 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock, 10:30. Because I'll sit there and stay up 2, 3 o'clock. So I end up getting 8 hours because I'll sleep about 10 o'clock, 10:30, maybe 11. Knowing I need to go to bed. When I would work night shift, I used to work night shift, my doctor would say, get on day shift. Because we need to be asleep at night. Like, we need to be asleep at night. We need to be getting our rest at night. But I have known people who have worked for years. When I was a kid, I had cousins and stuff. They would say, I work night shift, because they didn't like to be there during the day because so many people were there. So they were like, I work night shift. And I understand, I would work like evenings. I would work in the evening. And if I had to, or wherever I was working at the time, if they needed help, I would stay over maybe till 3 or 4. But then if you stay over to 3 or 4, it's like, you might as well go ahead and stay until 7. So if it's like a 3 to 11, 11 to 7, 7 to 3 type of thing, if you stay to 3 or 4, you might as well just stay on to 7 o'clock and get that money. And me being a night owl, that was good. That was cool. But we really do need to sleep at night. We really do need to sleep at night. My doctor's like, are you on night shift or day shift? If I say night shift, he like, can you not get to day shift? Can you move to day shift? So I'm like, well, it's just like, you have to go according to the needs. And so if you say you're on evening shift, he's like, okay, it's best to work during the day so that you can get your sleep at night. And then I was like, well, okay, Doc, what if I'm working evenings and not just overnight? He kind of rolled his eyes like, that's better. He's like, that's better. But if you can, please get on day shift. So I have a doctor that he tells his patients to work day shift. And if you're like, I've always been a night person, so it only makes sense for me to work at night, guess what he'll tell you? Try to change your schedule. Try to change those habits. Ross says when I go to bed too early, I would go, right. And see, now I've always just been a night owl, but when he said that, and when I said, okay, let me just try to change my habits, guess what? I go to bed. Like right now, when you said bed by 8, if I go to bed at 8 o'clock, right, I'm going to be up like 2. I'm going to get up like 2 o'clock. And then when 6 o'clock rolls around and I need to get up for work, I be looking crazy talking about, I need a nap. I've been up for 4 hours. I'd be like, I need a nap. So I have never been able to just really regulate it. You know, I'll do day shift like he said. I'll work day shift. But I still end up maybe not staying up until 2 or 3, but like 11 or 12 o'clock. Trying to fall asleep. You know you don't get into that REM sleep for a minute. So you're probably really getting some good sleep maybe from 12:30 to 6. That's 5.5 hours. I need more than that. That's why I'm at work talking about, I can't wait to get off. I can't wait to get off. Let me go get a nap. I remember my aunties and grandmas, they'd be like, let me get me a nap. You know, they'd be like, let me get me a nap. I need a nap. But shoot, they weren't working though. Their work was the housework. It's so funny how back then, most of the time, the men did the work. And like if the ladies did work, it was maybe for a few hours out of the day. It was like a few hours out of the day that they would work. And so when they were off, they would go to bed on time. See, the elderly people had sense. They would go to bed on time. But still around lunchtime, it was almost like a baby. I can remember them saying, let me get me a nap in. So they wouldn't sleep all day. They just sleep like an hour, hour and a half, maybe 2. And then they'd get up and cook. By the time we get out of school, it was time to eat. Go outside and play for a few minutes while they finish up. Then we eat. But I'm like, and you know, they didn't have as much then. Like I know we complain now about inflation and the cost of things. Rightfully so, because things are just too much. Things are too expensive. It takes a lot. If you don't have a 2-income household, it's hard. And it's hard sometimes if you have a 2-income household. It's hard. So you getting up, you going to work, and things are just so expensive and it's so hard. But then I keep thinking back, some of them had 7, 8, 9, 10 13, 15 even kids. And the mom would maybe work for a few hours a day. Dad would work, and sometimes it was single parents, single moms, or single dad. And some of the older kids have to look out for the younger kids and cook and stuff. So, but they made it work. They made it work. And I know the cost of things aren't what the cost of things are now, but still, it's just the way of life was the same, though. They couldn't afford a lot of things. You know, you had hand-me-downs, and a lot of times back then, kids were grateful to get hand-me-downs. Not all kids, because I can remember complaining sometimes, but when you think about it, the stuff that our parents told us, the way they had to live, a little bit of that trickled over into the way we had to live, but things got better for them, like in the 80s and 90s. Pay got a little bit better, not much, because they still didn't do right with the federal minimum wage. But you know, just kind of depending on where you live, and again, depending on how many incomes that family had, because especially if you had a lot of kids, the older kids stayed home and they went out and worked. So you had a little bit more money coming in. They could help out with the bills, help out with the food. So it's like they made it work. So I know, like, because I've complained about now. But what I'm starting to see is that, honestly, a lot of people have gone back to doing that. Older kids move back home. I don't have anything bad to say about, you know, sometimes people are always so hypocritical. Like, why are there old grown kids at home? Because they're trying to make it. Because they're trying to make it. Like, that's what they did back in the day. That's what they did back in the day, and a lot of families were happier then. You know, I'm not saying happier as far as, you know, the way life was going or things like that, but I'm saying it's like it worked out. They were fed. Nobody was hungry. Maybe you didn't eat what you wanted to eat all the time, but they were fed, and family had family. Now you got family that's so worried about what the neighbor will say, because what the neighbors will say, because they have 2 adult kids at home. And I'm like, but y'all some of the same ones complaining. Y'all know what the situation is. Everything is high as crap. Some of these kids are trying to go to college. They pushed college forever. Now they're not really pushing college. They're pushing the technical degrees and stuff like that. You know, everybody can't blow up on social media. All young people can't blow up on social media. All young people can't be entertainers, rappers, or whatever. So they get a job, but they move back home because a lot of jobs still don't want to pay. And with the current situation, how the pandemic went, everybody's trying to still, quote unquote, get their money back. And you have some people who aren't really trying to get their money back. They're just still taking advantage of the situation that happened. The fact that we had a pandemic. They're taking advantage of that situation. Because the government, they're not pushing right now for, notice they haven't been pushing for an increase in the federal minimum wage. A lot of places increased their pay because during the pandemic, those places that stayed open needed hands. And then after the pandemic, though, some of those places even dropped their starting pay back to what it was pre-pandemic. So when people go around and say, well, they're paying $15 an hour, they're paying $16 an hour, they're paying $20 an hour, a lot of times that was true. It's still true now for some places, but with this inflation, it's like they know how to raise it just enough to accommodate the increase that they're going to give us right after they raise it. So it's like, what do you do? When I see people who have adult children at home, I be like, more power to them. Shoot, you got to do what you got to do to make it work. Because you got grown kids who finish in college. Now they aren't really pushing college as much because they're saying you can get all these other technical degrees. But you got some who are pushing. They went to college. Of course they want to work in their field. And then when they do, it's entry level. So they might be making the same thing as someone at a plant or some other field. And it's like they can't afford $2,500 a month for rent. They're not probably trying to buy homes right now because they're young. So they can't afford $2,500 for rent. They can't afford $2,000 for rent when the pay is $20 an hour, even $25, and that's the only income that's coming in. So all that money that they shelled out during the pandemic, We already knew that they would get it back through the economy and through just a lot of ways. Like these places that did stay open, and when they started to reopen and they were finding it hard to hire people because people weren't applying, they increased the pay. Well, guess what? A lot of them, when they finally got staffed and adequate staff, that increase in pay dropped. Like I've heard so many people, especially at a lot of the restaurants, they were like the pay went up to maybe $15 to $20, like starting pay. When they finally got adequate staffing, guess what the pay did? The starting pay went back down to like $10, $11 an hour. It went back down to $10, $11 an hour. And if you happen to get the job during the time where they increased it, you were good. But if you didn't, you're coming in making maybe $10 or $11. Someone who's only been a cashier a year longer, or at that place a year longer, they may be making $15 an hour. So they did increase the pay in a lot of places. But as soon as everything started to get back to normal, they decreased their starting pay right back to what it was. A lot of places did that. They decreased the starting pay right back to what it was. So it's been an hour, y'all. It's been an hour and almost 20 minutes. So thank you, Rock Just Living, again for that amazing super chat. I appreciate you. Thank you, Sharonda. Thank you, Big Kane. Thank you, Betty, from Retirement Days. And even thank you, the Olden Disciple, for coming in. All right, I think I got everybody. If I missed anybody, it wasn't intentional, so please forgive me. But I think I got each and every one of you guys. And when I can, the times when the chat is small, I like to call out everybody's name. So if I ever miss you, it was not intentional. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate you. You could have been anywhere else, but you spent a few seconds, minutes of this live with me. And I thank you for that. Y'all remember what I always tell you. Don't let bothered people bother you, okay? Don't let bothered people bother you. Don't let stressed people stress you out. Don't let them increase your stress levels, your cortisol levels, and all those other negative stress hormones that are out there we have as humans, okay? All right? Make sure you get up and move. Look at the legs move. Be encouraged to move, okay? For at least 30 minutes each day. It's recommended that we move for at least 30 minutes non-stop, consistently, and be persistent about it. 30 days, okay? 30 days, y'all. Not 30 days, 30 minutes, okay? 30 minutes each day. At least 5 days a week. See, they give you 2 days off even when they give you the recommendation. 30 minutes, 5 days a week, for a total of 150 minutes, okay? Non-stop movement for your cardiovascular fitness, all right? And again, always contact and consult with your primary healthcare provider. Make sure you check with them, and you guys can work on this thing together, work on this plan together. It's a collaborative effort, all right? All of those doctors form a circle around you. They're an atom, and you're the nucleus. You are the main person. You're the main topic. You're the main part of that cell, okay? Think of it as a cell, as a circle. You're the main part, okay? So do the things that they're doing to help you. And if you question it, right? If you want another opinion, get another opinion. But you will find that the more you do certain things, the more you'll want to, okay? And then for some who just aren't motivated yet, it'll come. It'll come. It'll come. Find a way to kind of just work it in slowly. Everybody is different. Everybody's level is different. But the main goal, whether you're doing this for weight loss, stress relief, fitness, it all boils down to health. It all boils down to health, because your health is your wealth. All right. And being healthy is the wealthiest you can be. All right. Your health is your wealth, and being healthy is the wealthiest you can be. Okay. Because we're not talking about moolah. We're not talking about paper. We're not talking about materialistic things. We're talking about your physical wealth and well-being. So again, don't let stress people stress you out. Don't let bothered people bother you. If you find yourself in a misery lounge, get up. What do I say? GYGAG. Grab your grip and go. Okay? Go back to your lounge. Go back to your place. Go back to your spot where you may not always be happy all of the time. But you regulate that ecosystem, right? Go back to your lounge, your ecosystem. You regulate that, okay? And we want to make things all as equal as possible. We want all things equal in our ecosystem, okay? So I wish you guys peace, positivity, and prosperity. Because what? Without peace, there's chaos. Without positivity, there's definitely negativity. Wherever chaos and negativity live, roam, and breed together, you fail to prosper to your fullest potential. We all want to prosper, all right? And we don't need the weight of somebody else's stress bothering us and pulling us down. I'm sure most people have enough to deal with on their own, okay? When you need to take a break, just like you need a day off from work, sometimes you need a day off from the app, take a break. It's gonna be there. Take a break. It will be there, okay? Take a break. It will be there. And remember, cardiovascular exercise, cardiovascular activities for your heart health. Work your body, make sure you don't hurt your body. And when you do your resistance training, work your muscles equally, okay? Work your muscles equally. You don't want to just do bicep curls and don't target those triceps, okay? If you do those bicep curls, you need to do something for those triceps as well, front and back. When you work on those quads, you want to work on those hamstrings, okay? You want to have nice quads and nice hamstrings, right? Not one or the other. You want both of them to be nice, not one or the other. When you ladies, when you put on those spaghetti straps, not just in the summertime, you don't know, you're gonna go to these Christmas parties and stuff like that. You want those arms to look toned. You want them to look evenly toned. Work those triceps just the same way you work those biceps, okay? Work on those shoulders. Let those shoulders have a nice, you don't want to look like the Incredible Hulk, but you want to have a nice physique, right? You want to look nice. You want to look fit. So you don't have to look like you're a bodybuilder, but you just want to look nice. You want to look fit. Look in the mirror. If you see those arms waving at you, with those triceps waving when you wave, just get a little, 5-pound weight and just use it. Like a 5-pound weight, and just, work your way up to 10, 12. Do you 2 to 3 sets of 12 repetitions, and you'll start to notice the difference, okay? When you tone those muscles, don't be upset if the scale doesn't move if you're also trying to lose weight, because guess what? Muscle is heavier than fat. A pound of muscle is heavier than a pound of fat. So, of course, it's not going to look like that big of a difference. But if you see that you're kind of the same, or maybe even a pound or 2 heavier, but their waist is looking lighter, then that means things are properly working out. Okay? Things are properly working out. It's just like you're sculpting your body. Okay? You're sculpting your body. You have to sculpt your body. So you're getting rid of that fat, and the muscles that you have, you're toning them up. The stronger they are, the more cardiovascular and the longer you can do your cardiovascular activity. So you're sculpting your body. Sculpt your body. Okay? Check those inches. Measure those arms. Measure that waist. Measure those hips. Check your inches. Don't be discouraged if it seems like the scale is saying the same, especially if you're noticing the inches. Okay? So thank you guys for coming in. I'm going to stay on for about 3 more minutes. Just to walk, and I appreciate each and every one of you. Again, I think I named everybody. Thank you guys. And I will see you guys tomorrow on the next Let's Walk and Talk in Lines 5. So if you want to hang out for 3 minutes, hang out for 2.5 now, 2.5 minutes. Hang out with me for 2.5 minutes. And then we're going to get off of here, and we're going to see you guys later. And I hope you have a great rest of your week. Rock. I forgot today was a holiday. It was a holiday. Today was a holiday. Kids were out of school. A lot of people were off work. So I hope you guys enjoyed your day off. I hope you enjoyed your holiday. So get ready for tomorrow. Tuesday is your Monday. I bet y'all say, Tuesday is Tuesday. So yes, for a lot of you guys, the first day of the work week will be tomorrow. So you got a short week. It'll fly by. It'll fly by. Because by the end of tomorrow, you're thinking hump day. And as we all know, once we get to hump day, y'all know how y'all do. Y'all start pushing their week. Y'all start pushing their week. Like Thursday is the preview to the preview of the weekend, right? Friday is the preview. Friday night kicks it off. But like Friday morning, Friday afternoon, that's the preview. Thursday is the preview to the preview. So we know how we do. You know how we do. We find a way to kind of push it. Kind of push it. Y'all stop pushing it. Stop pushing it. Let time be time. Let it go. If it's slow, that's all right. That's all right. As long as you're here and you're healthy, that's okay. And if you got some things going on, work on them. Work on them. So we got another minute. We have another minute. And once that minute is done, I'm going to log out of here. And I hope to see you guys tomorrow again on the next Let's Walk and Talk and Line Scribe. All right. Bye, y'all.